Yeah. So why don't we leave it alone, and we can always add them later, like Altman, because
Randy, I can hear the meeting.
I think so. Yeah, just to create the eye place.
So why don't we leave it alone? We can always add them later, like Altman.
Randy, I can hear the meeting. I still hear it. Now it's gone.
All right. You ready, Bill?
I am ready. Off we
All
go.
right. Welcome to another session of Blue Island 101. My name is Randy Heuser. Along with me is Bill Farrenwald. Today we'll be discussing the John D. Rita Rec Center and the Meadows Golf Course.
And as usual, we are monitoring the YouTube channel comments and Zoom chat. So if you have any questions during the session, please feel free to type away and we will do our very best to answer the questions that you have during the session. So I guess I'm going to lead off here with a little information about the John D. Rita Recreation Center. And for those of you who are not familiar with it, it is located in the California Gardens area of Blue Island, and the address is 2805 West 141st Street. The city annexed the California Gardens subdivision in the mid-1900s, and the rec center was built after a need for recreational services was identified for its residents. And if I'm not mistaken, the Gardens was not part of the Blue Island Park District service area initially. It was Mayor Withers that started building the rec center, and unfortunately, while under construction, there was a tremendous storm that came through and blew down the newly constructed walls before they could be permanently secured, and causing lengthy and costly construction delays. So it wasn't until after John Rita Sr. became mayor that the project was able to be completed. In any event, after years of city ownership and programming, the facility was leased to a local resident who wanted to run a program through there. Ultimately, the city regained control of the rec center, and using TIF dollars, that's a way of spreading some tax dollars around in a constructive way, renovated it and brought back into service and is currently being operated by a joint effort with the Blue Island Park District. The rec center offers a number of programming services, including the community gardens that are there, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, morning walking club, board games, adult pickleball, open gym, senior games, dodgeball, organized youth basketball, organized youth soccer, a free chess club, family paint nights, and art classes. And if you'd like to know more about, have more information about the rec center, you can contact Bob Jackson, who runs the rec center. His number is 708-926-2050, or his email address is bjackson, like Bob Jackson, at cityofblueisland.org. And if you'd like to know more about any of the other Park District programs, contact Josh Edwards of the Blue Island Park District at 708-388-6421. And it would be J. Edwards, like Josh Edwards, at blueislandparks.org. And those are some resources for you if you want to looking for some good recreational opportunities. And there's another one that Randy's going to tell us about.
So yeah, the Meadows Golf Club, Meadows Golf Course, is located at 2802 West 123rd Street. It's an 18-hole golf course. It was built by the city of Blue Island in 1994 on an old landfill. Before it was a landfill, it was home to Illinois Brick, where they produce common brick. Those are the bricks that you see on the tan color bricks you see on the side of the house and in the back of the homes. The soil in the area has a lot of clay in it, which makes it perfect for making bricks. I can remember when I was a kid, actually, property south of 123rd had already been filled in, but the property on the north side was just a big open hole in the ground. It was definitely a kind of place to go climb around and get and have fun if you didn't get caught by the guards, or occasionally they might even shoot at you. This was in the late 60s, early 70s, actually.
Right.
They had shotgun shells that were filled with salt. You'd hopefully get you in the leg and make it so you didn't come back. Now you couldn't do that today. No. Anyway,
that's
over the years, the course has been a pretty decent course to play. I play on it. I'm in a Wednesday afternoon men's league, and it's kind of fun. They host many outings a year, and leagues throughout the season. There are full practice facilities, including lighted driving range and practice putting green, a golf shop, snack shop, and a sports bar. The transformation from an old landfill to a golf course has many benefits to an urban community. And this is one of the reasons that they built this back in the day. It provides a wildlife habitat. It protects topsoil from water and wind erosion. It improves community aesthetics, absorbs and filters rain, and improves health and reduces the stress for a lot of golfers like myself. Sometimes it adds stress. It improves the air quality, and it captures runoff and cleanses runoff and and water runoff, and it discourages animals and pests and whatnot from the mosquitoes and ticks and whatnot. And again, it restores damaged land, and it makes a substantial contribution to the community's economy too. Since the golf course was built, there's been 3 different townhouse associations built along the golf course property. So it's really done well for the city. There's people that aren't golfers that don't think that it's worth having around, but it really does a good job. And up until recently, it hadn't been paying for itself, but it has been the past few years. So
It also, just is in a spot that there's not a lot of options for what we could do with the land because it is basically a landfill site. And the city is responsible for, kind of, to put it simply, a fairly expensive drainage and purification process that has to go on there. And so that happens underneath the ground and nobody sees it, and the city's on the hook for that. So the fact that we do have a golf course there, which enhances the value of the community and also generates some money, and now, as Randy said, is producing a positive cash flow, are all good reasons. I'm not a golfer like Randy is. So but I like the fact that there's a nice big green space over there, and that's a nice thing, and it does good for the community. And like all of our recreational facilities, Blue Island's a beautiful town, and it's part of our value. I think that's great.
Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much what we have for those two. And I did want to kind of do a little recap of what we've been talking about for the first several weeks. We pretty much have gone over all the operations of the city of Blue Island. First week was a little bit of the history and the organizational chart and how things kind of work in the city. Community development and finance, my office, the clerk's office, and along with the building department, police and fire, public works and water, and today golf and rec. So that now we're gonna, in the next 3 weeks, we're gonna really delve into some other areas that need a little bit more attention. So finances, everyone is wondering about where their money is spent. And where the money comes from for the city. So next week, we're going to be talking about the revenues that the city gets. The week after that, we're going to talk about the expenses the city incurs. And then the big one is the roads, the ownership of the roads, the maintenance and the costs of the roads. So overall, I don't know, it's been kind of fun. I mean, I thought I pretty much knew how the city operated until I became the clerk, and then I found out how much I didn't know, and it's how this was going to be something that was really going to be helpful to people who would be interested. And,
it is helpful, Randy, and I'm newer at this than you are. I've been alderman for 4 years, and I've learned just a tremendous amount over that time. And there's a lot more, frankly, that I have to learn. I learn new things all the time. But certainly, I fully understand now the challenges. I mean, Blue Island is a wonderful place, and we all live here because we like it. And I certainly include myself. And there's lots of great things about Blue Island. But it is an older city. And our infrastructure is extremely old and built, not really for modern day. Lots of things have happened. Cars have come into being, and all kinds of things have happened since Blue Island was founded. So it's got a fairly an old infrastructure that's been fairly complex. It's layered up over time, And there are challenges to running Blue Island. There's just no way around it. And that's the challenge is how we meet those challenges. And it's important that all that be taken care of properly. And it's sometimes a little difficult to explain. So Randy, I'm glad you've done this because it's been nice to lay this out for folks.
Well, and I'm sure, as time has gone on, people have heard that there's an election coming up, and I am doing this partly because, I'm running for mayor and Bill is going to be running for alderman again. And we really want to be open and transparent about what we feel needs to be done for the city. So this will be taking a turn towards politics next year, but more so about what we think needs to be done over the course of the year. So the next few years. So anyway,
and I'd say, as part of that, we're really delighted to have the opportunity to hear, your comments as we move through this, and we're needing more ideas. We don't have all the good ideas.
Absolutely not.
So we're looking for good ideas, and we're hoping we'll get some of them through this. And so if you are listening on YouTube, do make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and you'll get notifications of the next meeting, as well as being able to view past sessions and continue to participate in this process.
Yeah. So I don't see any questions on either YouTube or on the Zoom. So I guess we'll have this be a short one for today. Thanks for listening. We hope this has been an informative session for you, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next